We all know that the beast system is being set up, and most of humanity has already been assimilated by artificial intelligence, and a lot of people have been injected with artificial intelligence that takes over their body, but it's also being given to us in many routes, and it's being done to force our compliance. Those of us who can't be assimilated, there's possibly some very bad things going to happen to us. Why are they accumulating and centralizing data on Americans to find out what we believe in and who we believe in if we're going to comply with the beast system? Data centralization and accumulation so they can put regular humans who can't be assimilated on a terrorist watch list. Did you know that flat cameras do much more than just read license plates? They actually have facial recognition on them. They're taking pictures of everyone, and they know who's in your car. They're taking pictures of way more than your license plate. They're everything that has to do with you. They're tracking everything. And also, Signal Trace adds phone and Bluetooth accessory tagging to automated license plate readers. What does that mean? That means it knows your phone and it's hooking up to your phone. And what else is it hooking up to? Since this uses Bluetooth Low Energy, and so does the intercorporeal nano network that's been injected and sprayed on people, then theoretically the Bluetooth on a flat camera could be used to track you wherever the camera can't see you, as long as the signal reaches. But it's going to bounce back and forth between the cell towers, the big ones and the small ones. So what is the beast system going to look like once it's completely finished being built? Soon, within the next couple, 2-3 years, they'll be ready to fully enforce it. The beast system framework: digital cashless economy. The infrastructure relies on central bank digital currencies and digital tracking, interpreted as the mechanism behind the prophecy that no one can buy or sell. Global surveillance grid. Proponents of the theory point to interconnected high-speed networks such as Starlink network, facial recognition, and biometric identification as tools for societal control. Remember how Trump said he wants a biometric tracking system? Artificial intelligence, another thing Trump is pushing. Some theologians and authors explore how quantum AI could act as the image of the beast, enforcing ideological conformity or processing global data. How is Flock Safety, Palantir, and humanoid robots and other robots such as robot dogs and drones, how are they going to theoretically enforce the mark of the beast, the cashless society, the beast system? Perimeter surveillance and detection, Flock Safety, sensor networks, high-definition optical sensors, and automatic license plate readers placed at intersections, commercial centers, and neighborhood perimeters would continuously scan physical space. Biometric mapping, advanced sensors capable of people detection and vehicle tracking would log movement patterns, clothing and physical markers, hands and foreheads. That's where the mark is going to be, and some say that it's under your skin and it's glowing, and it's called a luciferase, and that's what people took. It turned them into Lucifer's race, which makes a lot of sense because the Israelis worship Lucifer and they're the ones behind it, but that's another story. Real-time alerting. If an unmarked individual attempts to move through public space, the sensor network would instantly flag an unregistered entity moving toward a restricted commerce zone, which is a place where you're not allowed to buy or sell. That's what a restricted commerce zone is. Data aggregation and digital identity. The mark integration. Rather than a crude physical brand, the mark would likely be a biometric or subdermal digital identifier tied to a central bank digital currency or a universal digital ID. The Palantir pipeline. Palantir's artificial intelligence platform and data integration software, Gotham and Foundry, would ingest the real-time transaction logs, medical histories, and location pings of billions of people. It would establish an unassailable graph database of who is marked and participating in the economic grid and who is not. Data fusion and identity resolution, Palantir. The operating system, Palantir, Gotham, or Foundry, would act as the overarching data integration engine. It would ingest real-time feeds from SensorWeb and immediately cross-reference them against central identity registries. Pattern of life analysis. The software would synthesize disparate data points, biometric scans, financial transactions, and physical location histories to build a comprehensive profile on every civilian. Economic blacklist integration. Palantir's platform would verify whether a scanned individual's biometric profile contains the required digital authentication, the mark. If the mark is absent or revoked, the system generates an alert indicating non-compliance. Algorithmic enforcement. You cannot buy or sell. Financial and social excommunication. In the Book of Revelation, the beast enforces a system where no one can buy or sell without the mark. Palantir software would execute this seamlessly by automating red listing. Real-time triggers. The moment a non-marked individual attempts to use a credit card, enter a transit system, or access a grocery store, artificial intelligence platform would instantly flag the anomaly. The software would automatically shut down access points, freeze bank accounts, and blacklist the individual across all interconnected financial and municipal systems. Automated economic blockade and enforcement. Point of sale denial. When an unmarked person attempts to buy or sell goods, the merchant's digital point of sale terminal connected to the surveillance grid would scan the required biometric mark. Smart city interdiction. Upon point of sale denial, the system automatically transmit GPS and camera coordinates to municipal law enforcement. Physical apprehension. Local authorities utilizing near real-time visibility dashboard dispatch resources to apprehend the individual for violating the centralized economic mandate. Predictive extermination. Predictive policing to persecution. Palantir's tools are already utilized for predictive policing, border enforcement, and military targeting. In a theoretical authoritarian scenario, these capabilities would be inverted to find those attempting to live off-grid. Automated targeting. The software would correlate satellite imagery, thermal signatures, license plate readers, and cell tower pings to hunt down outliers. Once non-marked clusters are identified, the system would calculate the most efficient deployment of autonomous drones, localized law enforcement, or automated security responses to eliminate the threat, operating with the cold logic of an intelligence gathering engine. From a theoretical and technological standpoint, combining predictive data analytics, military target generation software, and humanoid robotics provide a blueprint for automated absolute enforcement system. In biblical eschatology, the mark of the beast requires an individual to hold a specific identifier to participate in commerce, while those who refuse face execution. While Palantir Technologies has explicitly denied involvement with specific Israeli military software mentioned, analyzing the theoretical integration of data platforms like Palantir's Foundry, military AI tools like the Gospel and Lavender, and humanoid robotics illustrates how such an apocalyptic scenario could function through modern technology. Lavender, digital dehumanization and kill list. The Lavender AI system functions by processing mass surveillance data to assign individuals a numerical probability score. In an enforcement scenario, Lavender would analyze behavioral patterns, facial recognition data, and social networks to generate kill lists or detention lists of every individual whose profile lacks the mark. Because the AI processes millions of profiles simultaneously, it removes the bottleneck of human review, turning the identification of dissidents into an automated assembly line. While software like Phase 3, extermination, humanoid robots, and autonomous execution. While software like Lavender and Gospel currently rely on human operators to execute strikes via aircraft or artillery, the introduction of agile, autonomous, humanoid robots changes the execution phase entirely. So basically, Palantir and Flock collect your data and track you. Lavender and Gospel target you for the kill list, extermination, and the humanoid robots, drones, and other robots do the exterminating. Continuous, remorseless patrols. Humanoid robots equipped with facial recognition, thermal imaging, and DNA sniffing sensors would be deployed to enforce curfews and checkpoints. Unlike human soldiers, robots do not suffer from fatigue, moral injury, or empathy. They would execute program command for the mark with absolute fidelity to their algorithms. Biometric scanning at scale. A humanoid robot could cross-reference an individual's face or iris print against the central Palantir database in milliseconds. If the database returns a negative status for the mark, the robot's programming would instantly reclassify the individual from civilian to target, initiating lethal force. Subterranean and urban cleansing. Lethal force. Subterranean and urban cleansing. If the unmarked flee into dense urban ruins, forests, or underground tunnels, humanoid robots, unhindered by toxic environments or the dark, would be sent into tight spaces to flush out and eliminate survivors using precise algorithmic targeting,